Hello there, welcome back to Simon's Shed. Long time no see. Yeah, it's all a bit strange at the moment, isn't it? Needless to say, hope you're all safe and well and keeping isolated. And hopefully there's quite a few layout projects starting that maybe you said you'd always get round to one day, and hopefully now is the time to maybe have a go at that. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of jobs, like most people, tidying up and decorating and bits in the garden, but I am now back in the shed, as you can see, and I will give you an update on what I've been doing. So here we are, got the little Class 24 Graham Farish running, and that's really the first thing I wanted to talk about. So as a reminder, because it's been a while, this is a 3-loop layout. We've got this top loop here which we've got running again, and that's the main thing I want to talk about, actually getting the layout going again for this little section. We've got the isopropanol alcohol there, and I've had the track cleaner out, and as you can see from the Class 24, that was pretty easy to get going again, mainly because that's the loop that I use the most, really, that sort of top loop that doesn't go down the helix. So you can see it just goes through the station, it's all above, it's all the same level, through Kidderminster and then into the station here, or through the little secret bypass loop, so that we can loop back round to Arley station, and that's fine. I've also been trying to get the other 2 loops running again, which has not been so successful. So next to the Severn Valley Railway line, we've got the 2 mainline tracks, which are here, an up and a down line. The inner one goes down the helix, so the idea is trains will always be going this way. They'll never have to climb up the helix, they'll just go down, and then so this is all pretty simple to clean. I can get to all of this, and then it sort of disappears under there. And actually I mean, I've hoovered the whole thing off before I started this, because there was quite a lot of bits over here where I've been working on the turntable scene, so it's all nice and clean. And I've been going around with the old track rubber as well, which I really need to replace. I can actually get under here as well. Where's it gone? It's not too difficult to clean that bit of track, and it's actually not too difficult to clean here. So that loop I was just pointing at down the helix then goes onto here, this lower one actually, and then goes underneath the boards, and that's where it gets a bit more difficult, which is why, as some of you will know, I bought the Scheinschleifen wagon, or the Scheinschleif wagon. People did tell me how to pronounce it, but I've probably completely messed that up. Which, as you can see, doesn't have any cleaning pads on it at the moment. So yes, these were the original pads, lasted for ages. You just keep sort of cleaning them up and using them again, but they finally gave up the ghost. So I need to figure out a way of either making my own, or hopefully getting some on order. Hopefully there's somewhere open that will post those out to me. So yeah, I you do struggle to clean the track under there. It's just that little bit there where it goes underneath. It actually, what it does is goes round and back out to the middle track, and that climbs and climbs and climbs, and obviously comes back out there and starts its merry way around again. And the other loop in the third loop in the other direction is obviously that one down there, and again it disappears behind there, but it's just sort of behind here, so actually it stays at the same level and comes out there. So again, all of that's really easy to keep clean and running. It's just under here where I really need that cleaning wagon, and I think it's been so long since I used those loops that the dirt's just built up and the track's just oxidized, and it's quite bad. So yeah, need to get some cleaning pads and sort that out. So I've kind of parked the idea of running on those two loops for now, and we'll perhaps run some trains just on this top loop until we've sorted out the cleaning wagon pads. But yeah, the idea was to have 3 loops and then 1 loop which goes down to the lower level, just because it allows me to have a nice fiddle yard which I can then sort of hide here for the shots for the videos. Also had the Dapol 68 running, which is a bit of a powerhouse, so it's always the one I turn to when I've got a dirty track to pull the cleaning wagon. So I'm going to have a bit of a play, see what else I can get running, clean the wheels of the rest of them, and then let's see what else we can do. So we got the DP1 Deltic prototype running now, and so before the cleaning pads gave up the ghost, I did actually manage to clean all this off, but when I started the Class 24 it was still very hesitant, so I tried the track rubber for a little bit and didn't seem to make that much difference really. I think it's kind of on its last legs as well and disintegrating, so I just ripped a strip of scrap paper and gave it a quick run along the tracks, and you can see that actually they're not very clean at all. So yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is literally just get a bit of paper with the IPA and literally just gently run that along, because it seems to be fetching off a lot of stuff that the other track cleaning has missed. So yeah, whilst the Deltic has a bit of exercise. That's 3 we've got running now, although that one is, if you look close enough, missing a buffer I think. But yeah, that's 3 down. I'm not sure how many more to go. Okay, we've given the Farish LMS Mickey Mouse a run. It's had a good run, and that one's all working fine as well. And we've now got Tornado stretching its legs, and everything seems to be fine. The challenge is, can we get it clean enough? And I am literally, if you have any sort of what's the word, Heath Robinson track cleaning techniques that you can do with household items, I'd be glad to hear them. So I've just carried on with the sort of paper and IPA, and the challenge is, from a standing start, set the loco to speed step 1, so the slowest it'll go, and it's got to make it all the way along without stopping, and that's as clean as it's going to get. That passes the test. So as you can see, doing the test is going to take a while. But actually cleaning the track is going to take even longer, so this is a bit of a long-term project. So I will carry on with that and let you have a look at the other thing I've been doing. Now, last time you would have, all those months ago, seen me working on this bit in the previous video, and I decided, and this was like just before Christmas, I think. So this is essentially the same, I think, as you last saw it. Maybe just a lot tidier. As I say, I've tidied it all off and hoovered it. So yeah, I decided as we get to this bit, there is a footbridge across there, across the tracks, so decided to build that. Tig. So Tig is still here, still going strong, as is Fern. So this is what we're trying to build. That bridge there. From the other side we can see we've got a brick pillar in the middle there. Looks fairly simple. So I started off with the Pico NB39 plate girder bridge sides. As you can see, this is all nice and square. These aren't. They have a sort of arc to them at the top. So I started hacking away at those, trying to square them off and make a start on that. But then I discovered a new scale scenes kit, and I think you'll agree that this and this look very, very similar to what we're trying to create. Plate girder bridge, and yeah, there it is. That's pretty much what we're going for. You get options on how clean, or whether it's brick, or whether it's, where's it gone, rusty. So yeah, before Christmas I started that, and somewhere under this heap of bits of card is my progress. So yeah, as you can see, it's not a nice neat finished bridge. First thing to say is, because of the span, and this is the great thing about scale scenes and all these types of kits, you can just build as many as you want and join them together however you want. So I needed 2 sort of complete spans to do the SVR footbridge that I showed you. As you can see, a lot has been done in terms of cutting out. And I think this is actually my plan. I sort of did a rubbing of the tracks and sort of worked out where the footbridge brick columns would land to get the width. Here we go. So we've got a deck. Like so. There's a couple of options for the underneath. I think this is called a jack arch bridge. So I got one of those, and then had to do it all again. So build the other one. So those will be long enough, I think, to complete the project. And then we obviously need some sides. So you can probably guess how it works from these little squares that are cut out. These are the plates, and you can see between each plate, I think there's a little piece that you have to stick in the middle. In fact, before you even do any of that, there's a jig that you have to build to make it all line up. That's there. Yeah, so this is the jig. So you start off with a piece like this. You stick the inner bit on, and then I don't know if I've got any left, but possibly this. Yep. So these you stick along there, which takes a while. Then you flip it over and line it all up with the jig and start sticking these on. And then, as I say, in between each one there's a little piece that sticks out. And then once you've done all that, you've done 1/4 of the side. So that one's pretty much done. You also have to, well, you don't have to, but with these bits it looks a lot better if you get a felt tip.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alexa, be quiet. Sorry about that. It just helps if you run a felt tip along that edge and that edge, all the edges. So just doing that, it takes a bit of time. And yeah, what I'm trying to get to is I kind of ran out of patience with it. So you can see I've still got all of that to do and all of the front and the entire one of those to do. So we haven't even started the brick columns yet, so I'm not going to let it beat me. I will keep going and get it finished, but I think for the rest of the layout I need to find a quicker way to get things done, and perhaps lose some of the you know, how close it looks to what's actually there. We can always go back later and upgrade things, but yeah, I really would like to have a layout with no sort of holes in the scenery and no bare boards showing, and at least buildings where there should be buildings. So yeah, gonna have to come up with a plan, I think. But while I do that, I will leave you with some trains running, I think. Right, I think it's time to play some trains. We have a busy scene on the Severn Valley Railway, and we're going to have tornadoes going to come in and get ready to take its train away. But before it can, this long rake of coaches needs to be moved. Class 68 is visiting the Severn Valley Railway. Now you do get modern locos that visit occasionally, so let's see how that goes. well, there we go. I really enjoyed that actually, doing a bit of work and running a few trains. Hopefully you did too. So yeah, stay safe, protect the NHS, save lives and all that. Hope you're all well. I will continue with the track cleaning and trying to get that blooming footbridge finished. But yeah, hopefully that was a nice distraction for you for a little while, and I'll try and make some more videos. See you soon. Cheers.